Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Punk Rock Radar, and we are continuing of talking about the top 10 records of 2025. We talked about Kyle's. We are talking about mine today, and I thought 2025 was just like a great year for. I felt like maybe not like pop punk and ska punk and some of the other genres that we talk about a lot on this channel, but I felt like there was just like a lot of like cool hardcore records, a lot of cool orgcore records. There was some great skate punk records, and I'm going to talk about them with you guys today. So you guys ready to go ahead and get into my list?
Let's
Yes,
do
sir.
it. Yeah. What
So
do
the
you got
first
first
band I'm
here?
going to talk about is from Brisbane, Australia, which is Haters and their album Non-Violent.
One day I wonder outside of my head, and when I got back there was someone else in there, and he said, "Get out, you don't live here no more. Get out, you don't live here no more. Get out, you don't live here no more." And I wonder, how did I get into this fucking mess? And I wonder
which was one I kind of got towards the end of the year, but I started listening to this and I was like, this is super fucking good. I was like blown away by how absolutely awesome the lyrics were on this thing. Haters described themselves as kind of like a garage indie punk project, and you hear garage and indie, and I'm kind of like already hesitant. We hear like so much of that stuff that all kind of sounds the same, but honestly, this has a lot more of like kind of almost like a storytelling street punk feel to it. I think more than anything indie. There is definitely some like garage rock influences on some of like the guitar riffs and the production sounds, but this thing is just so fucking catchy, and it's kind of like an album about it seems like kind of being lost and like drug addiction and partying and kind of coming out of that, and just talking about like a lot of really dark topics. The song Jimmy Says, he's like talking about how he's like 13 and he watched a guy OD and it's burned in his brain, and there's so many just like heavy topics on this thing, but then also just like a lot of super fun, upbeat, catchy sounding songs like Quit My Job, Dead Inside My Head, Last Night. And I feel like this thing is just like a collection of like really fun tracks, and the song at the end, Survive Twice, I think is such a great ending to this album, where he's like, I drove down the road with my eyes closed. I should probably go back home. I don't really know how to survive. I don't really know how to survive. And dude, as that chorus at the end where they're all chanting, it gives me chills. And this just blew me away and made it in my top 10 last minute. But what did you guys think of Haters? Kyle, I'll have you go first here.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this band before. But this is an amazing album. I loved every song. And I agree, there's like such a wide range of styles going on here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes feels Ramones core, kind of grungy, and then like a lot of these songs also remind me of like Dead to Me. Um,
Oh, definitely. I can see that 100%.
yeah, so no, this is a great pick. Loved it.
John, what did you think of Haters?
I have like a funny story about this. So this I just pulled up my post for Punk Rock Museum for the month that this for the day that this came out. Because I remember it was a really light week and I was scrambling to find something. This post I did only has 6 albums and 6 singles, which is, if you guys follow those posts, it's usually like at least double or around double that. And this was submitted through the website, and I saw the album cover, and I was like, "This is gonna blow ass." But I was
That's,
like,
that's
let
what
me,
I thought too, the album cover.
What do you
Go
got
ahead,
against
sorry, Kyle.
butterflies, man? No, but
Eh.
yeah, I was like, let me throw it on there. So like, I'm going to get a song for the playlist, and I was like, shit, I think it was Wonder, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, damn, this is actually really good. So like, I just like let it play, and I was like, this whole album is really freaking solid. And I told Elliot before, I was like, you got to throw Jimmy Says on the playlist because that's probably my favorite song on there. I'm glad you shouted it out. But this whole thing, not really in my style, but it was this is like a borderline top 10 for me also, because there was like 4 or 5 songs that I really connected with. Like you said, garagey, kind of scrappy punk, which you may
Mm-hmm.
not expect from the album cover. So guys, don't judge it by its cover. I do that way more often than I should, but it's a really, really solid or core slash emo pop punk album.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm glad you guys loved it, dude. Because I was
Mhm.
just like, man, I I feel like these guys are totally slept on. No one's talked about them,
Yes.
and I agree. I feel like that album cover really puts you away and makes you think this is going to be like a Midwest emo album
For
Yeah.
almost. It almost
sure.
looks like the Prince Daddy font of their up there at the top. But I love Prince Daddy. But let's go ahead and move on to my next tier. We got my number 9 slot, which is going to be "Let's Tip the Landlord" by the Broke Downs.
My desperate pleas turn into caviar dreams. I follow, we're going minor, we monitor till I'm dripping in Jaguar grease. Ferrari fluid Lambo cream. Since you showed up on the supplement scene, my head's fudge jacket stacker too supreme. And as far as I can see, they're just a better pedigree. I follow to the Apollo, and then I make a mockery. The Sandman sweeps me off the stage.
Which is another album I felt like when I first listened to it, I slept on it a little bit. Like I thought it was like a solid, really gruff orgcore record, but I it wasn't fully connecting to it. Going back and listening to it a few more times, people were talking about it in the Discord. I started really connecting with just like how witty and interesting these lyrics are, and just there's this thematic element through the entire album where it's about this miracle drug called Alpha Dog Serum X, and it's kind of like taking these pot shots at kind of like hustler culture and like crypto stuff, and like this kind of obsession with like financial dominance and luxury slavery that we're seeing so much in social media now, and taking some shots at Elon Musk where he's just like, "Are we going to Mars or not? Are we going to Mars or not?" And it's like such. And honestly, I feel like that sometimes. I feel like I'm like, dude, just like what happened to the Mars thing? We're all like fucking bonkers land, and like what happened to the Mars thing? And I feel like it's such a great kind of criticism to the modern times that is 2025, and like these songs are just have these really just like cool, just kind of scratchy guitar riffs and stuff like that, and the vocals are just like so gruff and raw and pointed. It really feels like this great punch in the face record. These drums are just really banging and clamoring. I felt like the production is really good on this thing, and I think the lyricism, once you really get into it, there's so many just like cool moments, and they have all these like little almost like fake commercials for the Alpha Dog Serum X that add like this really like fun kind of charm to it. But what would you think of this record, John? I know you were a big fan of the Broke Downs. Let's Tip the Landlord.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be totally honest. I was a little bit let down with Maximum Khaki when it came out. I know like a lot of people dug that record, but like this one is absolutely bad. I was saying in the Discord, and I'm probably gonna get a little bit of hate for saying this, but I think this would be the best Dillinger 4 album if it was a Dillinger 4 album. That's how much I was digging this. And I love the concept of it, and it's really fun. It's one of those albums like it's not a playlist album. You just have to start at the top and go all the way
Yep.
through, so you get the story and the vibe of it. But I really like it. It's like on my fringe top 10, and I'm not a big orcore Midwest punk person, but I dug this, and I think if you're on the fringe, go check it out. It's badass.
Yeah, what did you think, Kyle? Also, it is Chicago punk. It's definitely they're Chicago,
Yep.
Illinois. So,
Yeah.
what did you think, Kyle?
No, I had written down the same thing. Like, this reminds me so much of Dillinger 4. Even the vocalist. There's two bands you have on your list here. I think the next one I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it too. But
Yeah, the next
Yeah.
one.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and having the
100%.
interludes, right? Like such a D4 kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I love this album. I would have probably had this in my top if I had heard it before. And I don't know. Something about "Let's Tip the Landlord." Like, it just seems like such a funny concept, right? Because like everyone's always talking about you're tipping everything now, and it's like you're even tipping the landlord. And there's this guitar riff in it that's just like this really like eerie like sound to it where it feels kind of like you're like falling down. I don't know. I just love that song so much.
No, yeah, there's so many great. I feel like also like Strategic Humiliation. It was like the rats are wicked, the rats are wicked. It's like really fun chanty lyrics on this thing too.
Yeah, I never
Um,
heard of this band before this, so I'm gonna check out all the other stuff now. But
Yeah, I think this is their best album. So definitely.
Yeah,
Also, I love
think
this.
so too.
This album cover is just so good. I love this
Yeah.
thing. You could read the whole. They have like a whole little like article there. You see on the side. You could read all of that too. It's fun. It all kind of adds to the theme of this this thing with like this alpha dog influencer wolf and his miracle drug he's selling. And if you take the drug and you don't have muscle gain and financial dominance, it's just because you're a loser. They said at some point. Super funny. But yeah. Speaking of bands that sound like Chicago. The next band on my list is going to be one of my favorite band names of all time at the moment is going to be the band The Miller Low Lifes and their album Pinch Hitters.
Chasing moments that invoke happiness, but probably not. No one cares about what I've been through, just where I'm going. Let's enjoy these airport beers. We'll be departing soon. Departing soon. Everyone has left and we're still delayed as we checked our baggage at the gate. Everyone has left but we're still delayed as we checked our baggage at the gate.
From Tampa Bay, Florida. And like I said, if you're looking for that Chicago punk sound, I mean, these guys sound like old school D4 Lawrence Arms to like the T. Like at times I'm like, is Brendan Kelly singing on this thing? Like a couple of like, I think the song like Babe Ruth Hangover sounds so much like Brendan Kelly, and it's the production on this thing is really raw. It's really stripped down. So if you're really looking for that old school raw sound to it, this is probably the best record you're going to find this year, or maybe even in the 2020s. I mean, they have this like a little bit of thematic stuff with it at the very beginning. They have like this like another commercial, like his old radio announcement talking about how like beer's made like with the fermentation of the yeast and stuff like that. And Airport Beers is another one of my favorite songs. It has a music video where the music video is literally the guy just orders 2 beers, like he's sitting at an airport bar, and he just drinks them in between, just like mouthing the lyrics, and you're just sitting there watching him just down 2 pints. That's all it is. You know what? And I kind of love that. If you can't make if you can't make a big grand music video, just keep it simple. It's a kind of a fun visual to go along with it. But I love this record so much. But Kyle, what'd you think of the Miller Low Lives?
So yeah, like the vocals again, it reminded me of like the higher pitch singer in D4, but it reminded me so much of Banner Pilot. And I felt like this album is so Elliot core for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I really like this a lot. Again, never heard of this band before. No skips. Just a solid album. Yeah.
John, what did you think of Miller Low Lives?
Yeah, I'm glad you put this on here too, because Dylan sent this to me on release day, and I'll be honest, all I saw was Tampa, Florida, and I'm like, oh, it's just another Dylan Tampa band, you know, with his Florida supremacy. So I kind of just like pushed it to the side, and I was like, it's Miller Low Lives too, and he's a Miller High Life drinker. I just think it's Tampa, Florida. It's a Miller High Life reference. It's probably so honestly, like I didn't really even listen to it, and then you threw it on here. I was like, okay, let me check this out, and I thought it's really solid. Like you guys said, it's D4. It's like a faster Banner Pilot, and I really enjoyed it. So, and only 100 monthly listeners. So shout out again to Elliot for kind of digging up a kind of very underground band. I'm gonna give you some props for that, and I'm digging it. It's on my playlist to listen to more. So A+ inclusion for Elliot.
Well, thank you, John. We'll move on to the number 7 slot, right? We're on number 7 now. Yeah. And the band we're going to talk about now, another orgcore band, one that's been around for a little bit. We've got Elway's record, Nobody's Going to Heaven, from Fort Collins, Colorado.
And I don't come up with anything. I can swear I almost hear it sometimes. My impediments metastasize in sounds that lingers on alone, like heaven's dialed tone.
And I mean, this is another just if we're talking Elliot core, this is Elliot core to a T here. This is this gruff, sad, heavy org core record. And I feel like I slept on Elway for a while. I think I've listened to like their Better Whenever album back in the day, but something about this, something about like just the lyrics, this like, you know, the bass just coming in and making these nice little melodies in the background. I felt like this is just such a solid me org core record. Also, just like the whole topic of the album, nobody's going to heaven. It's it just gets so dour at times and really just hits that like that sad boy nerve that's within me. But I mean, songs like Laugh Track, The Cost, The Price, Down the Lane, Far Away. I feel like just anybody can listen to these songs and just be just totally invested in just how great these choruses are, and they do so much gang vocals as well. And yeah, what would you think of this record, John?
It sounds like the band name should be Elliot and not Elway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it reminds me of like the slower Lawrence Arms stuff, like Metropole style Lawrence Arms. And it's your second Red Scare Industries album already. You're two out of four. 50% of your list is Red Scare, who's commented on the video, so a little bit of a shout out there. It's a little bit mellow for my taste. Like I did make it all the way through. I didn't find anything offensive about it. I thought it was decent org core, slower org core stuff. Not super for me. I'll be 4. It's probably like my least favorite so far, but I did enjoy the record when it came out. I listened to it a couple times, but definitely Elliot core. For those of you out there who know what that is.
Yeah.
The later Lawrence Arms is like a good comparison. It's a very mellow record, all things.
Lewis would dig this.
Yeah,
Lewis would really like this.
Lewis would love this. And they do have a lot of the more like twiddly guitar riffs and stuff like that too. That kind of have like emo adjacent sound. But Kyle, you were okay with this one, lukewarm on the Elway record?
You know what? It's good. It's just not really something I'm into. And I remember when this came out, you were like, you know how like there was like a whole hot girl summer kind of thing going on, and you were like, this is gonna be perfect for my sad boy summer. You know, when you go out and you buy a bunch of like taupe and worn down hats, and you get kind of like a little frilly mullet and all that kind of stuff going on. I knew this would be perfect. I don't remember saying this
at all, by the way. I feel like
your sad boy summer. It's a thing. Elliot invented it. But no, it's a great album though. Like I just this isn't my favorite type of genre. I think my favorite part though is this album art. It's like it's insane.
Awesome.
It's so good. Yeah. You gotta find out who made that.
Yeah, they went in on the album art on these. This and the last one.
Yeah.
This I think I'm pretty sure it's the same artist. But yeah, that's Elway. Nobody's going to heaven, and we'll go ahead and move on to where are we even at? Am I number 6 right now? Is this number 6?
Number 6. Yeah.
Okay, so to switch it up a little bit, we're going to talk about Billy Bats and the Made Men, the album For the Surly Types from Atlanta, Georgia. And dude, when I heard this, this is a kind of a classic hardcore throwback, but to me, it has that. Still, it has some of that 90s Descendants and 90s The Queer almost like come together and created like a baby. And these guys are so young too. If you've seen a picture of them, these are just.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, no, these are like young they look like they're 15, 16 years old. And you know what, dude? That's what punk is all about. Just having like teenagers come in and just make this obnoxious, immature, super fast, super hardcore, fun punk rock music. And I mean, all the topics in this thing are just like super funny. It has a ton of like comedy and charm to it. We got songs about about being a fartaholic. We got songs about getting in fights at the Long John Silver's, about how your job sucks, about winning the lottery and giving out hot dogs to the homeless people. And also, dude, the bass lines on these things go absolutely insane sometimes. Like the bass player just pops off on so many of these songs. The song Goes This Way, I feel like is such a Milo Goes to College type track as well. And then like the song In the Weeds, I feel like is a little bit more in that like Ramones core style. So a lot of fun and immaturity. And dude, this is just like what punk rock is to me. Just a couple three kids get together and they just like make this like offensive, crass, fun, fast punk album. But what'd you think of this, Kyle? I know you were a fan of Billy Bats and the Made Men.
Yeah, we did this in the fast food video, and I was gonna say, like, yeah, they need to tour with the Dollheads. They can have a tour. It'll be called like the Baby Punks or something like that. It'd be
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, no, I love this album. I mean, every song's pretty cool. Like for sure, I feel like it sounds like early Descendants vocals. You definitely hear the Queers influence there, but I think I said this before. Like Joe Queer actually produced this album, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
And
you did tell me that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, and I just love, yeah, like you already said a bunch of the song names, but like they're so funny. They're so dumb. Fartaholic.
Pissed in a potted plant.
And is I'm Against I like a tribute to I Against I, like the Bad Brains?
It
Something?
sounds like it probably is. Also, what's the email for the Amish? I mean, it's just you can tell it's going to be a fun album. John, I think you said you actually like this, for it being like a little bit more of a classic hardcore sounding record.
Yeah, I had never heard of this band. And when I saw the album, when I saw the band name, I was, for some reason my brain just went like Oi. So I was thinking it was going to be like an Oi punk band, and I was like pleasantly surprised. Never heard of this, and I wrote down, because I was listening to the whole thing on Spotify. I'm glad you pointed out. They look like you said, kids, like literal children. So dude, I gotta listen to this more. I love that there's so many songs and they're so fast and they're silly and it's fun. Like this stuff that I listened to when I was probably their age. But yeah,
Exactly.
heavy Descendants influence. Just a badass, fun, straight up punk rock album with some orgcore leanings. I heard a little bit of orgcore in there. You're not going too far off the path. But
I can see that.
I did like it. Yeah, I did like it a lot. And great
Hell
album
yeah.
cover again.
Yeah, I love this album. I love this art style.
Yeah.
It's almost like a fucked up Blues Clues character.
Yeah.
It's like his brain, the sock puppet, and his brain's exposed. Like it's clever,
It's fun. Also, the band's name's a Goodfellas reference. So there we go. Great movie. So for you film bros out there. But we'll go ahead and move on to my top 5. We're in the top 5 now, and the first band in my top 5 is the band The Carolyn, the album Pyramid Scheme of Grief.
It's the usual Sunday fare. You can call my name and only dust appears. I got comfortable clothes and my rum and coke. An unassuming love affair. Between the hangovers and I don't care. It's a prison break with my dirty blanket robe. Cast curses on the workweek. Saturday, nervous nosebleed. Bottles piled so deep. Searching something late at night to help me sleep. Through a midnight daydream.
Also from Atlanta, Georgia, the same city as Billy Bats and the Made Men. And once again, we're right back to Elliot core. We're right back to being sad. And this is definitely the saddest album I feel like I have on here. But I feel like the singer is so good. The melodies on this thing are so great. It almost has like a little bit of kind of folk flair to it in a couple of the songs here. But I mean, Nosebleed is an absolute banger. The lyrics on this thing are incredible, where it's like, we cast curses on the work week, Saturday, nervous nosebleed. The song Katie Arson has like all the band singing at once. And that song gives me chills, dude. And the lyrics right at the end, they start chanting this lyric where it's just like a burning sense of irony and a nerving stench of gasoline. And like, I love love those multi-syllabic, just rhyming things there, and just lyrically smart, super sad. Also, I love the album title "Faded in Roku City." If you don't have a Roku, when it's just on idle, it'll have the city that's just playing by in the in the background. So I'm assuming he's like fucked up, just sitting there like passing out, staring at his TV that's just gone to idle mode, and I feel like pretty relatable. So, but John, what do you think of the Caroline?
Yeah, I think it's the Carolyn.
The Carolyn,
but yeah,
yeah. Sorry, the Carolyn. My correction there.
Yeah, no, I've been into this band since they came out. They were like one of the first bands I feel like who reached out to me like in 2020 or so when I was starting the Instagram account. But I love the album name too, Pyramid Scheme of Grief. For my Roku, it does like a fish thing, so I didn't get the reference right away, but mine's got like all these, it's like an underwater fish scene. I got an old Roku, so maybe it's updated. But yeah, just like you said, beautiful, very poetic song lyrics throughout the thing. Very, very sad album. And which isn't typically my style, but I think because I was so into the 2022 album, I even had the Spirit, Spilled Modelo, and the Sound of Cuban Salsa bands in my top songs that year, that I gave this an honest try, and I dig it, man. It's definitely more orgcore, more sad orgcore, which is not typically my thing, but I just appreciate how well this band does the style, so I was into it.
Also, a lot of these songs are very short. Like it's incredibly short hardcore record. I mean, some of these songs are under 2 minutes, and I feel like it's just short, sweet, and to the point, and it introduces you to them, and it's over before you know it, and you almost want to listen to it again. But Kyle, what'd you think of the Carolyn?
The Carolyn, yeah, I loved this album. I listened to it a ton.
Yeah.
And,
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like a sadder one, which you're normally not always a big fan of, but it sounds like the Menzingers so much too, especially that Nosebleed song. Oh my god, that could be on the Impossible Past probably.
I feel like that definitely.
Yeah, so definitely a Menzingers influence there. But yeah, no, every song was good. I'm gonna keep listening to this one next year. So.
Also, it's not that I don't like hearing sad music. It's just like a band who I associate with happier music makes something sad. I'm just like, what happened, guys? Like, it's a little too dour. What's going on? I didn't want to see this happen to you. I feel like the Carolyn is just always sad. So.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out the other stuff. I've never heard of this band ever, so.
We'll go ahead and move on to my number 4 album here in a completely different direction. We are talking about Mean Bikini. This Ain't Gonna End Well. From Vancouver Island, Canada. So they're from Canada, and they're islanders. So I did not know Vancouver had an island. I was not aware of this. So I'm a typical American. I don't know my geography. But dude, this album is such a fucking ripper when I heard this thing. And it has like some elements of skate punk to it. Some of the riffs definitely are. But it to me, the best way I could describe it is almost like Rancid 2000 meets like Kicked in the Teeth by Zeke, and you combine them together because so many of these bass lines on this album are so Matt Freeman coded. Like he could have wrote them, and they go off. Like these bass lines are going absolutely insane. If you're looking for a record that is just like punch after punch with just like so many different dynamic guitar riffs, just screaming vocals, and also the guy can sing as well too at points where he's just actually just like belting singer. And what an absolutely just I feel like just a kick in the teeth record nonstop. I mean, the song as Good as Dead has this awesome guitar riff. Chaotic Evil and Growing Pains both have these crazy Matt Freeman bass lines. And I feel like this thing I was looking for an album like this, just something to get you hyped, something to want to get you in the pit, just some real classic like street punk, skate punk, hardcore, all mixed together into one. And this album delivered it for me, and I absolutely love it. But John, what'd you think of Mean Bikini? I had no clue what you were going to think of this one. So
Yeah. This is the second band you had that I'd never heard of. And I put in my notes I have undecided but curious. That's how I'm feeling right now. Because there's parts where I'm hearing like leaning into 90s alternative and like more skatey punk that like I'm into, and then like all of a sudden, like out of the blue, it's like I'm into like Dead Kennedys, Black Flag style, like 80s punk. And like I don't know. It's different. It's definitely different. It's not typically my style. I didn't immediately hate it. Like I wasn't skipping around, but I have to spend more time with it. I'm glad you threw it on here because I'm trying to like branch out a little bit. Like no spoilers, but like when people get my list, eventually there's not going to be a lot of deviation. So I was happy to check it out. I didn't hate it. Undecided but curious. Final verdict from me.
Okay. Kyle, are you undecided but curious?
No, not at all. We're on the totally same page, Elliot, because my only notes were this shit rips, and the first thing you said was this album's a ripper, and I just wrote
There
down
you
Rancid 2000 core. It just sounds
Right.
so much like Rancid 2000, and yeah, there's crazy Matt Freeman basses on here, and you know what, the vocals did kind of catch me off guard at first. Like I was like, I don't know if I totally like this, but then as the album goes on, I totally got it, and I'm sold. This is like a 10
Well,
out of 10 album.
That's how I feel. I mean, also, I'm a big crack rock fan, so I'm used to these screamy, screechy vocals and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I felt like this really just like hit a lot of like my crustier ska core side a lot. So the vocals made me think of that at least. So, but I think absolute ripper. And I mean, I feel like John, is a big Rancid 2000 fan. Obviously, this is a different beast, but I feel like you can at least appreciate some of those crazy bass lines that were going on.
I feel like I gotta get in the headspace for it. That's
Definitely.
all. Like
Definitely.
it's again undecided but curious. Like I'm gonna delve back into it later.
100%.
Because I could see there's things that I will like on here. I just got to get in the right space for it, I think.
That's
It's
totally fair.
It's funny because I thought John was gonna love this one because of the Rancid 2000 vibe, but
I mean,
so I'm a
it's
little
different. They
surprised,
definitely
actually.
have some of that classic hardcore stuff in there as well, and the vocals are not Rancid adjacent at all. Way more like Zeke or something like that. These almost like speed rock, death rock vocals on some of the stuff.
For sure, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
We'll go ahead and go to my third record here, which I know both of you guys are going to love, and both of you guys had it on your list, and I snagged it from you, which we did a first listen reaction to this already, and me and John both loved it. We're big Heart Attack Man fans. This is Heart Attack Man, Joy Ride the Pale Horse.
Replace me with a hologram. No one will ever know the difference, much less even give a damn. Slow dance, holding hands in the afterglow. Make my exit and take my grave at the bottom of the rabbit hole. Something's gotta give.
And I mean, I think we praised Heart Attack Man like a good bit. If people follow the channel, they kind of know our feelings on them. But like, once I said, just I think I was looking at their Spotify artist. I love when bands make this like playlist of like their influences and stuff they're listening to, and they had a lot of stuff like Knapsack and a lot of that 90s like emo stuff there too, but then a lot of modern hardcore, and I feel like that makes a lot of sense for a Heart Attack Man, where they're kind of pulling from this emo pop punk side, but they also have these just very just heavy grungy hardcore riffs sometime as well, which I feel like it makes them one of the more unique kind of bands to occupy the kind of pop punk scene, the pop punk space. And I mean, just Heart Attack Man always has just such excellent lyrics and everything, and Spit, I think, is like one of the the most like well done like kind of critiques of like AI that I've seen, where it's just like replace me with a hologram, no one will notice the difference, much less give a damn. Like such good fucking lyrics on this thing. And the Gallows, I feel like almost has like this kind of like 90s alternative fun kind of party song to it. And we've talked about it a whole lot, but an excellent record if you like kind of like really grungy heavy riffs. Every song feels like just a nice just heavy jolt of just energy. But John, obviously you're a big fan of this one. What'd you think of Joyride the Pale Horse?
Yeah.
Joyride the Pale Horse.
This is my number 3 album of the year also. So I had it in the exact same slot as you.
Nice.
And for a lot of the reasons you said, I feel like this modern take on pop punk / hardcore with the hip hop influence on it, it's just nobody does it quite as good. And I don't know if there's a lot of bands that even do it close to Heart Attack, man. I'm not going to echo a lot of what you said, but I do feel almost identical to everything you said. Even the songs you picked are my favorites. So it's my number 3. I love this band, and I don't listen to a lot of other bands in the space. If people can comment bands that they think sound like Heart Attack Man below, I'd love to check them out, because great band. Amazing album.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite bands of the 2020s, easily.
Yeah, same.
Kyle, what'd you think of Joyride the Pale Horse?
Yeah, I was upset I didn't end up getting this on my list, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
same,
I got to end it, so whatever. But no, I listened to this like so much all summer. This was like my summer anthem, right there with the Viagra Boys album. Every song's good. I'd never heard of this band until this year when you guys did the first listen, and I was supposed to go see them play with the Dirty Nil, and they had 2 shows booked, and I was like, I don't gotta buy the tickets yet. I'll just wait on it. Both shows sold out, so I have huge regrets. And
good for Heart Attack Man.
yeah,
I guess.
man. So they're killing it. Well, and the Dirty Nil's really big over here. They're from this area.
Okay.
And you know what? I thought I was gonna have the Dirty Nil probably on my list, but I unfortunately wasn't the greatest album this year. But
That's what I
Yeah.
heard,
but I still love you, the
I'm
Dirty
with you,
Nil.
man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
with you.
That was an upset for this year, but yeah, no, every single song amazing. Just love this band.
you-
Might even be best of the decade. This album, seriously.
Did you have you listened to the 2 previous ones, the Fake Blood and Freak of Nature?
Just a little bit. So I gotta visit all of it, because yeah,
Dude,
you
go
guys said
back.
you've been fans for a while. so-
Personally, I think Freak. I'm almost with John. John, I used to think Fake Blood is the best. I'm on John's side. Freak of Nature is the best, but I think John might even think this one's their best one now. I'm not sure.
I think I like this. This one's like I had never really wavered. I feel like this one is the most consistent, but it, just to repeat myself, it feels the least like a Heart Attack Man album, where the other 2 definitely have more of their
Yeah.
own style to it. This one's a lot more straightforward.
Definitely.
The other 2 are a little bit I don't know. Freak of Nature may be my favorite, but it definitely bounces around a lot more. Than
They're
this
all
one.
so close in quality. I feel like Heart Attack Man just doesn't miss, and
Yeah.
they've showed that. So
And it's funny, Kyle, too. That same show rode through here, and it was in one of our smallest venues we have, and I don't think it sold out. Like it's the same place I saw I'm the Avalanche. It's like the size of like a basement almost. And it didn't.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Did not sell out though.
Yeah, no, the Dirty Nil's huge over here. Like they're basically from my area, so
okay,
Yeah.
interesting. We'll go ahead and move on to my number 2 pick here, which is going to be a very early band that John put me onto, and it's just remained with me this entire time, and I just can't stop listening to this record. It is Cascade Riot's New Disguise from Detroit, Michigan. the best way I can describe this, and tell me if you guys agree. It's like, what if Bracket was an early 2000s pop punk band? Do you
Yeah,
like?
I hear a bracket in that for sure.
Yes.
I feel like the especially the song "Conversation." I feel like it's such a Bracket chorus, and it's such a cool kind of pop punk record. They have all these kind of really cool spacey breakdowns. It has this real somber kind of like vocal style to it, but then it will like kick up to a bit more like of a gruffer, fun pop punk thing. Like Ruby is like, feel like if this came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s, Ruby could have been on the radio. I feel like Time Machine is just this such a sad, somber song as well. And I feel like a lot of these the bass also just loves to just like bubble through and be pretty dominant on this thing. And sometimes I'm feeling like I'm hearing Mike Dirnt style like Green Day bass riffs on this thing as well. But I mean, every song feels like it has its own personality, whether it's going to be like kind of a more pop punk track, like Something's Different. It's going to be this really kind of like fast track, like Cellophane. It's going to be a more like mellow song, like Conversation, that has like these heavy breakdowns on it. I feel like it has a lot of personality. Every song kind of has its own character to it, and I absolutely love this one. I've been listening to it since January. It was one of the earliest albums that came out this year. But Kyle, what do you think of Cascade Riot?
Yeah, I like this a lot. Never heard of this band again. All your picks have been really like new to me.
Underground.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like reading an interview of the band because like I was trying to pinpoint kind of what this is, and they go on to kind of explain like their influences are like Blink, Green Day, and the Foo Fighters. And after I read that, like I can hear the Foo Fighters throughout
Oh,
all
that's
these
true.
songs so
Very
much.
much, definitely.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna give me shit for this, but I love that Ruby song because of the part where he goes Ruby. So
No, it's a great chorus. It's a great
it just
chorus.
gets stuck in my head.
At least
But,
the album's not called Ruby. It's like, I
yeah.
love the song Ruby off the album Ruby, where he sings Ruby. But
Yeah.
John, you put me on to this band. You put them for the new punk in January. What do you think of Cascade Riot?
Yeah, I wrote that this lived in your top 10 all year. And
All year.
that's tough to do. Like that's one of my least favorite things about top 10 lists is like something in January. It's got the benefit of being fresh and it probably sticks in your top 10, but also you're listening to it all year
Yeah.
and like you may get sick of it. But this thing stayed. And it just, I wrote down like we need to actually stick to doing best of the month every year, because if this is how you found it, then maybe that's
Yeah.
how other people found it too. So we
Dude,
got to get back to it.
This is one of my favorite records of the whole year, dude. I mean,
Number two.
Number two. It's number two. Like it remained there. Like it never left the top five. I felt like just something is so just fun and unique about this album. But you're a fan of this one. I know you put me onto him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because Ruby's probably my least favorite song, and I don't know why. Like I'm the opposite of you guys. I'm like that's the one like I kind of skip around. But like yeah, Conversation. It's a really great record, and it's another shout out to Elliot. Very small band. This is a very off the radar, almost top 10. So I'm very appreciative you did that, and let's give these guys a shout out. Where'd you say they're from again?
Oh, I didn't actually say where they're from,
remember
but
that.
they're
Is it
from. Oh,
Michigan?
no, I did. Detroit,
Michigan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Detroit. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, great pick.
So my number one spot here. I know Kyle's also a big fan of this one, and surprisingly enough, it is going to be almost like a classic hardcore throwback record. And this is another one I feel like I heard relatively early on in the year, but just something about Pat and the Pissers, How It's Done.
A nervous tip, a quick lip, a polyester trip, car flap, sick flick, sufferable lies and a crap that sweats. Dirt bag, lights on, it's red, time yeah, all red, open on sweat, yeah. Oh, a psychopath, a freedom, a general state, nothing breath, a psychopath, and a freedom
This is just like the most fun I've had with any album all year. I feel like it has just everything I love about classic hardcore, this kind of like raw, kind of like sarcastic, sardonic personality and nasally vocals, and just like these just pointed just songs where you can just tell they're making fun of somebody, and you just hope you're not that person. And so much just like sarcastic satire in this thing. It's just dripping, and part of this also kind of gives me like an early Gutter Mouth feel. That's almost how I feel about a few of these songs. Like it just has that type of just like cadence to it. This nasally, just in your face feeling, and it's just like the song Strong Man is super fun. Overflow, the first one, big hit. I want a big hit and I want to get rich. It's just so fun. And also they have this the entire album they play in a forest as like a live performance. They do this live recording of them playing in a forest, and it's just super fun. And the lead singer, he just goes off. Like he is just sweating. He's kind of a chubby guy, and he's just sweating, just going. He's like, and they're playing to no one in a forest, and he is just giving it his absolute all. And it's such a cool concept. Actually, the video you're gonna play is from that forest concert, Kyle. So
Oh, awesome.
it's gonna be the song Nervous Tick. But I don't know, something about this, I just kept having the most fun with this. This just made me just so happy every time I listened to it. So Pat and the Pisser, how it's done. Also Pat and the Pisser, where are they from? I have where everyone's from here. And Indianapolis, Indiana. So bands. But Kyle, what'd you think of Pat and the Pissers?
So this was the hardest one for me to let go to you. I've had this one on my
Man.
list like since I heard it. Like instantly I fell in love with this album. But yeah, reminds me of No Means No a lot. There's like these Black Flaggy kind of guitar parts and Dead Kennedy stuff feeling in there. I love the Strongman song. Like I don't know, at first I was like, are these kind of corny? But I don't know, they're so well done. Where it doesn't feel that way. And there's just this like like a snarky attitude
The whole
from the
thing.
vocals. Like yeah, just in your face. It's just great. Yeah, love this album.
John, I'm curious what you thought of the Pat and the Pissers record.
Yeah, I have like a funny story with this one actually. This album came out the same day as the Riptides and the Earth album, which I was really, and I did the New Music Friday post because I was stuck in DFW airport and I was looking for like a third like big album of that week, and then this is the one that everybody was telling me, Pat and the Pissers, Pat and the Pissers. I put it on and I was like, I don't know, it's a little bit flat. And then like I feel like halfway through every song, it just goes completely off the rails. Like every song's kind of like a roller coaster. Like it'll start off kind of like a lull, almost like indie, and all of a sudden it's like boom, balls to the wall. And it's an album that like kind of grew on me like throughout March and a little bit of April, and then I didn't really listen to it at all the rest of the year. And then you chucked it back on, and it put me back into that spot where I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not, but there's parts where I just like, there's parts where I'm like headbanging and I'm going wild and I'm like, this is badass. And then like back into like a lull. So I
Yeah.
can't decide if it's good or bad yet, but I definitely like parts of it. That's
Okay,
where I'm
okay.
at with this one.
You know,
Another
that's
one where I'm like, I got to spend more time.
That's pretty good for like a kind of like a classic hardcore throwback for
Yeah.
John to be like, I kind of like it. I'll
I
take
love
that
the
from
album art too. I absolutely
it's
love
so
this
fun.
album art.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so fun, dude. I love it too. You can stare at it all day. I need to get this shit on vinyl, definitely. But
Yeah.
I guess I have a few shout outs I'll do here real quick at the end, but this is my number one of the year. And I just have it by genre, and I'm just going to kind of read through them. So when I say like a genre and you're interested in that one, go ahead and check these out. I like these as well. I have a lot, so I'm going to go through them real quick. But hardcore records this year, I'm going to say the band name, then the album. School Drugs, Funeral Arrangements,
yes.
Wastoid, Hyper Reality, Dystopian Nightmare, if you really like crusty, leftover crack almost sounding stuff, and the Electric Chair / Physique Split. Skate Punk Records, I loved Punch Card, Soapbox Hero, Quit Everything, Entertaining Ghost, and OC Demons, More Than Meets the Eye. Really great skate punk records. Ska Punk Records, if you want some more like pop punky ska stuff, almost less than Jake adjacent, we got Joker's Republic, The Hand You've Been Dealt. The New Limits, These Are the Nights, and Jet 8's Break the Silence. So I don't know if it's really a ska punk record. It's a little bit more just hardcore. There is horns though, so, and that's on Punk Rock Radar. .com, which is a great. It was in my top 10, but I just felt like the haters I liked a little more. Emo Records, Saturday at Your Place. These things happen. Trash or TRSH String Theory, and Aren't We Amphibians Parade. Murderholics got me onto Trash, and Ben got me onto Aren't We Amphibians. Pop Punk Records, Ben Quad's Wisher and Silverstein's
Yes.
Anti-Bloom. Honestly, yeah, Silverstein Records really good. Might have slept on it a little too much. And then Street Punk Records, we got Skinhead, It's a Beautiful Day, What a Beautiful Day, and the Dollheads, Adolescence. And that's what I've got for my shout outs here at the end. But thank you
Hell yeah.
guys for watching. Thank you, Kyle and John, for entertaining my list here. Leave a comment down below what your top 2025 is, and we'll be recording John's at some point. This guy is the most indecisive list maker of all time, but he's going to get you guys his top 10. He said he wanted to do a top 50, then he brought it down to a top 5. He's all over the place. We're reeling him in, though. He's a madman. He's got great 10 records for you, dude. So John Core is prevalent than ever, but is some excellent John Core. So thank you guys for watching, and peace out.